As you guys know, we went to Japan a few weeks ago, and we decided to have Chris Broad, a.k.a. Abroad in Japan, and DougDoug,
a.k.a. Welsh Samurai,
on because they both have a ton of experience forming their careers in Japan. They both lived there for a combined 20 years, I think, between the two of them, and opening businesses in Japan, not just their own YouTube channels, but also Chris has recently opened a bar in Tokyo. And just talking to them before this, got a feel for the differences in bureaucracy in Japan as it goes of, just working and forming businesses there. And we wanted to talk to them about it. So this is our conversation with them. It kind of spirals into a bunch of different directions of how they feel about living in Japan right now. And hope you guys enjoy this. We'll be back with one more normal episode this year before we go on a 1-week break. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, Aiden.
All right, welcome to the strangest episode of Lemonade Stand we've ever filmed, where 5 white guys are going to explain how Japan works to you guys. But on this episode, we have Chris Broad.
How you doing? How you getting on?
And Connor,
Hello.
a.k.a. Doug.
Hello.
So trippy seeing 2 Connors, 2 Dougs.
We have Doug, a.k.a. Connor, as well. Don't forget.
My periphery, it's just really trippy.
I know, it really
I don't
is.
know which one's which.
Just listen.
It feels like you have Connor, and then there's a mirror to his left.
A more handsome mirror, dare I say?
Yeah. Good looking mirror.
We did all watch Doug change upstairs. Like there was this weird lull in the conversation. We're all sitting on these couches talking to each other, and then Doug stands on the opposite side of the room, takes his shirt off. Everybody went silent and just watched.
And then he put on the shirt and started talking like
It's like the fucking mask. It just makes you become me when you wear the shirt.
And I just started touching stuff in this studio like I owned it. I just felt more confident at home.
He's gonna start taking over your life, people. He doesn't fly
Like a
home with
horror
us.
movie. Yeah. Maybe that can help like fix my workflow issues, and program some stuff
You
for
guys
me.
split the
Like,
life down the middle.
like Hannah Montana. He does. We'll split it up.
Thank you guys for coming on. Obviously, this show is like something that focuses on, business, politics, those sort of things. And I thought it would be cool, or I don't know why I said we thought it would be cool to have you guys on and talk about what running businesses in Japan is actually like. Because you've both been here for so long. You both own companies, have experience working just within the system that is Japan. And we wanted to get a feel for that.
Hell yeah. I'm ready. Can I say
That's
it's
the voice you're doing wrong.
it's really trippy being in the Trash Taste studio, but not being on the Trash Taste podcast. What have you done? When I came in, like the severed corpse of Grant and Joey was at the door, tied up, beaten. They've taken over. Get me out of here, please. Lemonade stand. Well, the last fucking stand. Get me out of here.
Bye-bye AdSense.
Chris, I would love to hear, because you opened a bar, and I think that's such a fascinating. So, which character in One Piece is your favorite?
Right.
So actually, for me,
One Piece characters.
So you opened a bar, and you've obviously talked about that. So there's so much we could do it, but what is like the logistics of that? Like when I'm sure many people have fantasized about, I should open a business in this other country. Like, what is the actual mechanics of that going from an idea into this becoming a thing, and what was notable about that versus what you imagine? I mean, I know you've been here for a long time, but
It was actually an
How long
American.
have you been? Can I get more of the
In
backstory?
Japan?
Yeah, I would like to just know a little bit of the backstory.
12, 13 years.
12, 13
Started as an
years.
English teacher on the JET program, Japan Exchange Teaching Program. A lot of foreign folks come out on that, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they give you some money and send you off into the countryside to teach children English. And did that. That sounds really sinister.
Countryside.
Go teach the children.
They don't check in with you. Just figure it out.
Some people don't get that. And that literally happened to American Pete. I think you guys met.
Yeah, we met him. He's a great guy.
That happened to him, actually.
What do you mean?
Well, he didn't go on the JET program. He went on like the Ragged program.
There's different companies.
There's a lot of dodgy
companies.
teaching
Wait, is this a
companies in
company, not a
Japan.
government program?
So the one I went on was Japanese government.
Okay.
The one Pete went on was like Barry down the pub. He had like a company. And he told me like he arrived and they were like, here's
They
a
would
car.
just hire foreigners and send them out to go.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
more
they
like
gave him
human
like a washing
trafficking,
machine.
So that
He was
company
really into
is
that,
quite
I think.
famous for like undercutting as well. Like a lot of what their businesses is going like, okay, you pay the jet, the official people like maybe like I think it's like 1900 USD a month or something. We'll undercut it. We'll find foreigners who are cheaper.
Willing to teach for less.
Because there's loads of people who are like, I just want to go to Japan, whatever it costs.
It takes. I see.
Pete's story is so sketchy. Like everything you're saying here, plus when he did it shortly after Fukushima happened. And he was talking about how he couldn't get the correct visa, and the company just told him, no, just come on the tourist visa. We'll figure it out later.
It's pretty ropey, yeah. I mean, I got ill done for me. This is why you should do the jet program. Your plane ticket, your money, it's like a really cozy, nice way of teaching in Japan. But yeah, I feel bad for the people that didn't get on that and had to do the sort of sinister route.
Were you good at it, teaching English?
First year, no. Second year, a bit better. Third year, yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm done now. I'm off. And it's fine. It's good. But you are used as a sort of human tape recorder for a lot of the time.
Really?
And the textbooks are really awful. You know, and I had to sort of stand there reading out stupid textbooks. And
so you did it for 3 years. You're done with that. But then what made you decide to stay in Japan?
So I did YouTube as a hobby. And it sort of took off. I think by the third year, there was 100,000 subscribers. And I was like, that's enough to try and do this full time. And it was sort of just before the golden era of YouTube when I think YouTubers discovered you could make money. And that was like the light bulb moment for a lot of people. Right. And I thought, maybe I can stick around, do this. And then I became a YouTuber, moved to Sendai, did that for the rest of time ever since. Yeah. And that's what I've done, really. Yeah.
I used to watch Chris as well when I was into Japan stuff. When he first started.
I used to watch. Oh, that's cool.
I don't watch him anymore, though.
Right. It fell off. You were telling us that. You think
did Japan inspire you, Connor?
No, I love Chris's videos because it was like one of the only creators who was doing more thoughtful content. Because a lot of the times it was just they took a video in a sushi restaurant.
I never did that. I felt there's so much more.
They were just look at sushi, but you'd actually try and find stuff. So that's.
I think the thing I had going for me is I was one of the few YouTubers who wasn't in Tokyo. And I put a lot of effort into the production of the videos where, I've got nothing against vloggers, but I wanted more TV quality production. I think that was where Abroad in Japan sort of took off from. Yeah.
That's cool.
So what's the transition from presumably becoming a successful YouTuber and starting a company for that here, and then you start a company like The Bar?
I was actually an American friend in LA I met up with, and he was like, I want to make a bar. And I was like, okay. Well, I don't know much about bars, but I like alcohol. And so we sort of talked about it. So we agreed.
I'm a fan of their work.
He was like, I love drinks. Do you want to do something? I was like, okay. And so
he was drunk while he said
he was drunk. And he was drunk, yeah, actually.
Best person to start a bar with.
And it wasn't until 2 years later that we met up and we actually were like, okay, let's do it. So me and my partner, Charla, agreed to market the bar, work on the interior design, the drinks, the sort of concept, and he sort of focused on the operation side of it. Because I'd be shit at the operations of... That's really hard running a bar, and I'd have fucked it up very quickly. So that was how that partnership sort of formed, and that's pretty much how... And also, I've been doing YouTube for about 10 years up until that point. And the problem with YouTube is you're interacting with thousands of people around the world every day, but you never get to meet them, apart from events or anime conventions. Yeah. And it was kind of cool having a bar, because then you could meet them.
They would come in and...
and the bar sort of became a de facto sort of shrine to the Abroad Japan cinematic universe and all the amazing people we have on it. So a lot of the drinks are named after people and moments from the Abroad Japan cinematic universe. The most popular drink's called Go Fuck Yourself, because one of my Japanese friends says that a lot. That's his favourite thing. People pay, what's that thing, Cameo? They pay him money.
To say go fuck yourself?
Tell my wife to go fuck herself. He sends these videos.
Yeah. He's hustling.
This is like a Yuki Kawamura, the basketball player. He was on the Memphis Grizzlies last year, and he was like, "What?" He's getting interviewed in Japanese, and he's like, "What phrases have you learned in English?" And he's like, "Ja Morant taught me type shit."
It covers a lot.
Yeah,
it does. It does. Really good and very versatile. You have word to learn.
Cover a lot of your bases.
But so we got that, so the drinks are named after moments like that. People have to literally tell the staff to go fuck themselves, and they all do it.
Were there problems? It sounds like a monumental task for someone not Japanese to set up a business.
Yeah,
in Japan.
yeah, like if I was like, oh, I want to start a bar here, I would have no idea where to start.
He's trying to undercut you.
Yeah, and you know, you hear so much about the like bureaucracy in Japan. You hear so much about like how hard it is to start companies. You have to have these banks and whatever else. Like, what is that? What is the actual process of going through all that?
I mean, you can make it a lot easier if you've got a lot of money.
Have a partner.
Like everything in the
world.
There's a lot of like, I mean, there's people you can hire that will like, you know, like expats who have been living here for like 30, 40 years. They've lived and worked in the system, and like you can hire them and they'll like expedite this stuff or help you, like, because they've navigated it, and you know. So you can do stuff like that, but that wasn't the case for you.
Well, no, my American friend did work with a Japanese company, and that opened a lot of doors and things like that. But it was still a nightmare. You know, trying to find the space was really hard. Luckily, we got really lucky at the end. We found a property right in the middle of Shibuya, next to Mega Don Quixote. It's right in the middle,
like 5-minute walk from Shibuya Station.
Yeah, it couldn't be better. But the bar in question was an absolute shithole when we arrived. There was like blood and sick on the ceiling. It was like known as the late night 5 a.m. bar where foreigners would go in and spend, you know, 100 yen on like vodka. And
You ruined a classic. You ruined a great place.
there were people that were like,
gentrifying Shibuya.
there were people that were like, I love that bar. It was always my last bar. Yeah. But the building in question wanted to get rid of this bar because all the other businesses hated them because it was like
people were throwing up everywhere.
A literal sea of, you know, vomit down the corridor. And so when we came in, it was quite the renovation task. You know, we had to like demolish the whole bar from scratch, and you know, we built this like big gacha door, like a gacha machine door that you swing in and out of to get in and out of the bar. And yeah, but it took a lot. It was supposed to open in like May. It opened in August because of all the logistics. But it's been a hit ever since, and it's done all right. But what I did quickly discover with seasonality that a lot of foreign tourists don't come here in the summer. And the bar did really well. We opened it September last year. Did really well until June, and there was like, oh, the customers have gone. Oh shit! And it turns out, June, July, August, nobody comes here.
What?
Makes sense.
Horrible here.
I advise people.
right?
I advise people don't come
disgusting.
here. Yeah, it's absolutely horrible here.
Sometimes people come because the flights are cheap. Like, wow, it's so cheap to go to Japan right now. It's like
it's a rotisserie chicken experience.
it's like it's August.
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
You like can't walk around. It's genuinely horrific.
It is horrific.
What are because I imagine you've had to set up companies for your YouTube channel, the podcast, and between all of the businesses that you've had, and maybe at a time when you guys didn't have the resources to pay somebody to help and like expedite it. What are the frustrations going through that system? Or maybe it's peachier than I think it is. But my impression is that going through any sort of bureaucratic process in Japan is really painful.
There is,
or just very different from doing it somewhere like the UK.
Yeah, I mean, when I set my company up in the UK 10 years ago, whatever, you can do it in under a day. It's like a service called like Rapid Formations or something. You just go, here's some money,
loads of companies.
Tick a box, and it's like, you're a business owner now, well done.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yes.
In Japan, it's like, get ready to die. It's like, it takes a few weeks. There's a lot of documents. We use a thing called a Hankor stamp. So instead of a signature, you use a special stamp. Yeah, Hankor.
You've mentioned this?
Yeah, it's like a, they're mostly plastic now, but you can get some high-end ones that are more like marble. And then it's just like an ink stamp.
Depleted uranium.
It's like you're signing. It's like a custom thing for your.
Well, yeah. So you I mean,
it seems cool first.
When you moved here, it must have been like you had to use it. But when I got here, it was slowly being phased out, and now it's
back.
only for like
It's still
banks,
around.
banks
digital
and-
stamp.
So
Yeah, it's like a little.
At first, I was like, this is cool because they put your name in it on kanji characters and you stamp it, and you did like insurance documents and all sorts of things. But one time, I remember when I got my car, the insurance guy came to my school where I was working to sign some documents, and I stamped it. And then he came back a week later, like, the stamp wasn't good enough that you did. And there was a little bit of the stamp hadn't hit the paper.
Yeah, you
and I was like, are you having a laugh?
So every
Yes.
every ward office, every building has these ink pads and these blotches. So you have to like really like do this with it, and then you have to like do this technique.
It's
where
really
you
scary,
Really
though.
push it
Press
and
it
like
in.
evenly press it around like
If you
that.
fuck it up, though, they'll like, you have to come back next week and do it all over again.
Yeah.
And I went to my bank once to do something, and I'd forgotten it. I think I'd even lost it. And they were like, where's your stamp? And I'm like, I think I've lost it. And the whole bank like broke. All the staff like abandoned their stations and met the manager. And they brought in the regional manager and the manager's
happens a
mum
lot.
and the
This
cat and the
happens a
dog.
lot.
And everyone huddled in a corner and they debated what was going to happen. And then they went, die job with it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Maybe it's like a really unheard of thing.
You can't just sign. You can't just.
Oh God, no.
That's crazy.
But the stamp is specially registered at the local government office.
I know, but
Well,
what's your name to the
so
business?
you can get your stamp made, but you don't always have to register it. But if you want to, on some documents, you have to register it.
Yeah.
It sounds like our social security number. Like you have a social security stamp, and like if you lose it, you're
You didn't know
you're
it.
fucked.
Yeah,
But
I
you can
guess
just
you would
change
be.
it.
Wait, what?
You can just change it.
You can just get a new one.
Yeah, like
You
so
have to
when-
register at the government
so-
It's
office.
just, okay, it's just very
Yeah, 'cause
cumbersome. Okay.
when I first moved here, I didn't know any Japanese or anything.
Yeah.
And so I came through an agency that had just been formed, and they guessed what my name would be in Japanese, and it turned out it was just like wrong.
Just wrong.
But I just rolled
What
with
did it say?
It was like my name. I can't remember what it was. No, it was like I can't remember what it was. Very off. Anyway, I was like, I just rolled with it because I was like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you don't want to get.
But then afterwards, I had a problem where someone was like, "Is this your name? It looks very different." And I was like, yeah, it's my name." So I had to go and change it, but then I had to go and cancel everything and go through all the documents, and that was a whole ball ache. But you know, in a weird way, I feel like when you get used to it, you kind of don't think much about it. It's still a pain, but you just know that everything is gonna be a challenge.
I think for
and
me, it's more that I
prepare.
just forget the stamp a lot.
Yeah, I
And
forget
I'm
the
like,
stamp.
oh shit,
Yeah, I
I'm
forget the
supposed to
stamp.
bring the stamp. For 10 years, every
Yeah.
day, I forget the stamp.
Yeah.
Don't forget the stamp if you come to Japan. Remember the stamp, honestly. I'm so annoyed about the stamp.
But it's crazy because you always hear about US visas.
Yeah.
And I had such an easier time getting a US visa than a Japan visa.
That. I mean, I guess that's true for
Like
you. right?
paperwork-wise,
Yeah.
the level of paperwork was so different. Like it was like so
I mean,
much
and you've
easier.
been a bit of paperwork hater on this trip. You've been a Japan paperwork hater. Even in the hotel, they were.
I mean,
he was whining.
okay, I have been. I've brought a bit. This is my fifth time here. This is my fifth trip. I've enjoyed it every time I've come, and I realized that on my fifth time, I think I get to be a little fuck Japan. Like I'm over it.
How dare you?
You what?
There's just little things like the paying for something at the hotel was like weirdly complicated. They have this sign that says like you can tap your card to pay, but then they were like, no, you have to use your chip, and then you have to do it like this and like sign. And there's just all, and then or like going up to the pool the other day, it's like I'm gonna walk up and use the hotel pool, and then the guy had to come out. He stopped me and then had me read the rules of the pool with him.
Wait, that's crazy.
And then he had to give me goggles and a swim cap, and then assigned me to a lane that I could only be in that part of the pool.
Maybe he
like a
just looked a
hotel
bit
pool.
shady. Maybe he just looked at you and thought,
Yeah.
this guy, he doesn't know the pool rules, this man.
It's actually weird.
I see, you probably
look like
Yeah,
a
maybe
shady
it's just me
character.
then. Maybe it's just
Your
me.
face,
the
bro.
other thing driving me insane is for a city that's so buttoned up in so many ways, it is fucking insane that you can just bike on the sidewalk. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
compared to a city
quite
like
stressful.
Amsterdam or Copenhagen,
Well, you
it's
know-
like just use the bike lanes. You have bike
Well,
lanes here.
It's illegal to cycle on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
But they do it.
I've been hit by bikers almost 3 times in the past like 4 days, and it just like somebody flying around a corner, and then I'm I'm the foreigner prick
So-
who almost got hit by a bike. I guess.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the official rule is that kids and elderly, I think, are allowed to cycle on the sidewalk. But even then, I feel like it's because the cycle structure.
Oh, there is. I say it is a separate rule.
I think so. I think kids are allowed to. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. Maybe we could fact check this. But yeah, it's very frustrating, especially in like Shinjuku, where there's so many people walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And there's perfectly good cycle lanes. But it's unfortunately unlike Europe. The dedicated cycle lanes are kind of oftentimes merged with the traffic lane.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
can
a little,
definitely-
it's a
Yeah,
little
You don't want to
scary.
get hit, so you
I
just.
can see the hesitation for sure.
I would rather hit Aiden with my bicycle than get hit by a car. I think that's like an easy trade-off to make, and I don't blame anyone for doing it.
I think it's just I'm sure this is more pronounced as somebody who lives here, or maybe you guys get used to it. But I think because the sheen of all of the cool things that you get to experience and see when you visit here, there's so many amazing things about being in Japan. There's so many amazing things about being in Tokyo. But even just visiting all of these times, little things kind of like chip and wear me down in a way that makes me, especially in contrast to other cities. I think that's I don't feel this way if I go to like Taipei or Hong Kong. It's like things aren't as weirdly constricted, and maybe I've manufactured that in my head. Maybe it's like not as bad as I'm making it out to be.
Well, there are a lot of rules in Japan, and there's always signs telling you about the rules.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's
even the
always
most
rules.
mundane things, right? Would you
I
agree,
think,
Connor?
yeah, I think maybe because we've lived here a long time, but I get the opposite where it's like in Japan, I feel like I know or expect the level of rules that there's always going to be.
Yeah.
So I normally just get happy when I go to LA and it's like a free for all.
Lawless.
Yeah. That's the way I like when I go to the UK and it's like, okay, like if we have if you go to a restaurant and you book a restaurant in the UK, or America, you have
just a train platform. In
Yeah.
the UK, you can go anywhere on the platform, but in Japan, there's always a white line, often showing you where to queue and things like that.
Yeah, or like the restaurant you want to, in America, sometimes people will be like, oh, I want to bring my friend along. In Japan, it's like you can't just add a seat. You can't just add a seat.
Not allowed.
But it's like, and then like having to explain that sometimes is frustrating. But then I like that when I go back, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about this rule. But I feel like we're just so used to it. Like we just know that like it's what to expect. But it is. You do get sometimes where it wears you down. But like the hotel thing, I'd be like, man, come on, I just want to.
I want to let me swim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Like in LA, I can punch the deer however much I want. But like here, I'm doing it and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Well, you're just testing the constitution of the deer. I think that's very
That's
valid.
what I thought. And I loudly explained it in English and everyone's still mad at me. I don't know what's good.
I was wondering, is there, through the processes of, whether it be finding a place to lease to live in, or for the bar, or even the studio we're in, or through any of the day-to-day life stuff that you have to do, is there a big gap between if you just had citizenship here versus your residency? Like it would be like way more clear-cut and easy or something?
I mean, well, when it comes to property, if you are not Japanese, it can be difficult sometimes renting certain places. I remember when I moved to Sendai after I finished teaching, I found like my dream apartment and it was all going really well. And then they went to the owner and they were like, no. I was like, why?
Really?
And they're like, because it's not Japanese. And because, I think landowners want peace of mind and they see foreigners as a fine
Because you could leave. Or, yeah.
And some of the, it's not unfounded that that can happen. But it is sort of a bit annoying. It's weird to not be able to get the thing you want because you're not Japanese in that case. But yeah, so that annoyed me early on when I moved to Sendai, and then I found somewhere else. I don't know if you had the same problem.
Yeah, I did find a really nice apartment.
Rook, I didn't do this intentionally.
Okay. You become me.
I looked to the right and realized we were doing that. That was not planned.
That's so funny.
I swear. Anyway,
You guys are blending. I'm not
like,
even noticing anymore. It's almost like
They all look the same.
This is such an anecdotal thing, and like whether you get rejected for an apartment or not, and then there's so many reasons why you might or might not get rejected. And sometimes it is just like, because you're a foreigner. And I remember there was one apartment that I really looked at, and I really wanted it. And the guy was like, okay, I'll just call the owner. And he was literally standing next to me. He's calling him. He goes, hi, gaikokujin desu. Like he's a foreigner.
Yeah.
He goes,
and you just know.
I could tell
You just
immediately.
know.
Like his face changed, and I was like, just tell me. Just rip the Band-Aid off. But there are services here. There's like one of the biggest companies, like KenCorp, is a big real estate company here, and they have a full English service that they can give to you. But the problem is that like you will get a list of buildings where they've gone to the owner beforehand and asked them like, is it okay if we have a foreigner here? But then, like, sometimes they can get really weird about it, and like, still, like, but it's okay.
I guess
but it's,
more because most foreigners who are working here, I imagine, are in the situation where they're on some sort of work permit, right? But if you look at somebody like American Pete, he's going to be his intention is to get his citizenship, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that there might be some judgment, or you could call it like racism that exists, maybe no matter what. But I'm kind of wondering for somebody like him, if he gets his citizenship, are there doors that like magically open and making these processes like more easy, or would it not really change?
I don't think so, actually, because he's still technically a foreigner, right?
Yeah, and permanent residency is pretty all-encompassing in Japan. It's pretty powerful, I think. Like you kind of just all the restrictions are kind of waived.
But I do wonder with what you just said with the story where you were like, "Gaikojin this."
Yeah.
Would that be different if you were a permanent resident?
I would imagine the only thing is they look at your name, right? Like if you have a clearly foreign name,
Right.
Yeah.
But I think if you were a citizen, you could definitely. I think you're allowed to adopt a like kanji in your name, so you could like have your name on paper at least look Japanese. So you could be like fucking Tanaka-san.
So you show up with a door, they're pissed, but it's already signed.
But you never see the landlord. You never ever meet your landlord.
okay,
You never meet your landlord in Japan.
That's true.
Most of the, unless it's like a very like personal
Right.
renting, right? Like at least in Tokyo, right? You're never going to meet your landlord. So
You probably could, yeah. If you
Yeah, like
Right?
I think it doesn't change much, right? Like I think your day by day won't change if you're a citizen versus a permanent resident, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's as much of an issue as it used to be anyway.
I think it's just you can lose your permanent residency through, I think, either like committing crimes or not paying taxes, stuff like that.
Can I ask about
Connor
that?
loves committing crimes.
Which I do often. Which I partake in. I
That's the
partake in.
biggest problem of yours is always the crimes.
During your cyclothons, I've seen you on the sidewalk a couple times.
That's never happened.
There's actually dozens of hours of footage of you breaking that law.
I've never done that.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask about that. The there's this narrative that there's been kind of a rising. What? Oh,
Okay,
not you and me. I was like, what have I done?
The Connor narrative.
Agenda.
It's not related to you. It's not related
Sure,
to you.
sure, sure.
It's about this the rising like anti-foreigner sentiment in Japan. And you guys are more on ground zero of seeing if anything is anything different than
Well, I've
5 years
noticed
ago, or
since Connor arrived here, it's gone up dramatically.
it's exponential.
It's been exponential. It's been a real problem.
Maybe that's why Doug's been getting so much heat here.
Yeah, they think it's sugar. No, obviously it's not
Stream
you
of
guys,
filth.
but I'm wondering what, or I don't think it's even founded. Maybe it's just a
No,
broader
it's
thing.
fine. It's founded. I mean,
Okay.
there has been a noticeable rise in tourism.
Right.
You 10 years ago, I mean, 2008, I think there was about 8 million tourists. This year, it's about 35, 40 million.
Oh my God.
So if you go to Tokyo or Kyoto, you see the difference compared to then.
Yeah.
And Kyoto is really suffering from over-tourism. Bits of Tokyo, but mostly Kyoto, actually. So it's easy to walk around with the camera, show mass tourism and the problems and sort of go, it's a problem. And also, there's been, foreign streamers doing bad things at some points.
Right.
2 years ago, we had the infamous Johnny Somali dude. Bell end, absolute bell end.
There's
And-
also crazy Japanese streamers as well that do this
Of
shit
course.
too. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to explain.
But it was, it was all over the news every day for months
my
on end.
God,
Him
yeah.
like breaking into lorries and doing all sorts of bad things. It was a national news story, and I think that really didn't help. And periodically, when a streamer or something, an influencer does something wrong, it's often in the media. This year we had the girl who turned a Tory gate into a fucking gym piece.
Oh, yeah.
Like, pulled up on
Did
her.
pull-ups on
my
the Tory
God.
gate,
Yeah, there was a Ukrainian streamer who went to Fukushima, the exclusion zone, broke into a house and did a stream. And that's someone's house.
This has happened a
somebody's
couple of
house.
times. A couple of people have done this.
But of course, we have to keep it in proportion. There's 35, 40 million
Tourists,
and
yeah,
of
yeah.
course, there's going to be a few
crazy
dickheads.
one.
Oh, there's the Australian guy. Oh, no. Who went up to at a gravesite, you leave alcohol for your loved ones passed away. And he went up and went, oh, yeah, I fucking drink it, mate. And he treated it like, shot him. Treated it like an all-you-can-drink bar. And it was, oh, you dick.
It's so stupid.
It's
Just
insane.
alcohol on a grave.
Yeah, I know. It was
Free.
fucking...
It's free.
I know, it's this sort of
Now I
stuff.
kind of
And
feel
to
bad
film
for
it, to
complaining about
film
Japan. Maybe the rules are good. I like rules.
So you have, and there's definitely a rise in folks that don't like foreigners here in general, right? As there's been a rise in the right in the US,
Yeah, yeah,
UK.
it's
all
and
over.
so it's sort of, so these sort of videos are circulated. It's like rocket fuel for this sort of issue. So yeah, I don't think it's any understatement to say that. But as you probably know, Dogan made a good video on it called "On the Rise of Anti-Foreign Sentiment."
Right.
And he talked about that because a lot of people see the rise of this Sanseto party as being like, the equivalent of Trump or reform in the UK, when actually it's not just about anti-foreigner sentiment, it's about the corruption of the
The LDP.
incumbent LDP government and whatnot, who did some silly things.
Yeah, well, honestly.
Silly
I
things.
think people are just unhappy because shit's getting worse for people who, everyday people who live here and work here, right?
Yeah.
Like stuff's getting more expensive and
Cost of
nothing
living, yeah.
seems to be being done.
Yeah.
So I think people are just frustrated. So I think they just want something new, right? I don't think it often comes from like racist intentions or anything like that.
No.
I think most people here, even though you see the sentiment, it's like you never really feel it. Like
I haven't felt. I mean, yeah.
No.
people are very welcoming and very kind.
Yeah, and you never hear, but you don't hear that story on the media as much.
Yeah.
Like Connor and I were in Onomichi recently to do a cycle across the inland sea of Japan. And we met a Japanese guy there, and we were like, has there been a lot of foreign tourists here? And he was like, yeah, but it's really good. It's helped. The economy of the town is like booming because of it, which is kind of cool. And he was seemed to be very pleased about that. And you don't hear that story told as much. The smaller towns and cities around Japan
They're benefiting.
That are benefiting.
Because that's what I was going to ask is just like, at what point is it too much tourism, right? Let's just say from
Yeah,
a very callous economic perspective, like sounds like Kyoto is kind of hitting a limit where maybe the thing that makes it interesting and relevant and culturally unique is maybe suffering because of it. But, you know, in theory, it's like, what if, you know, the Japanese government could press a button and get 100 million tourists next year? Would they press it?
Well, they are trying to get 50 million tourists, I think, by 2030.
I think it's an issue of they haven't found a good way of getting people to go all over Japan.
Yeah.
They're being funneled
Concentrated.
into Kyoto, to Tokyo, Osaka,
Yeah.
right? Mostly. And I feel like there is, we go all over and there's no tourists in most of the really cool places.
I mean,
to go to.
Hokkaido with you was my favorite trip I've had here, 100%.
Yeah, that's still like relatively kind of popular for skiing,
Hokkaido's
but like no, everywhere else we went, we drove around.
Yeah.
People don't want to drive. In Japan, you kind of have to drive to go anywhere outside of like the really major places. So I think like they've been trying to get people to go and to other places.
Yeah, and
But it's a hard time.
I've always tried to show the more rural areas where I used to live. You know, Tohoku is the sort of northern bit of this main island of Honshu. It's 6 prefectures,
That's really cool.
and I think like 1 or 2% of foreign overseas tourists go there. It's a real shame because for me it's the best bit. You know,
And it's so easy to get around there because the bullet train at least. To
they
get
just need to do a
along the
better
east
job
side.
at pushing people to these places. You know,
Well, that's
as far
kind of
as
what you're
I'm
doing with your
concerned.
content, right?
Well, we try, we try and do
telling
it.
people.
I think Paris gets more tourists as a city than Japan in total.
But the argument
Yeah,
is often
yeah.
that Paris
The
has had it for
infrastructure, yeah, the
dozens,
infrastructure.
decades.
So
You know.
it's clearly like just an issue of like meeting demand and finding ways to make.
I think Kyoto will adapt though, and it'll be okay.
I think so.
But you know, really, it's been a major success story, and I think that should be the focus of the narrative that all these overseas tourists have been really good for the economy of Japan because obviously the
12%
population.
of the GDP or something like something crazy.
Yeah, the population of Japan's going down something like 900,000 people a year, which is obviously going to hit the economy significantly. And having foreign tourists turn up, spend a few $1,000s, and then go home is great for the economy.
Also, like half the TV shows are just foreigner experiencing thing in Japan.
Yes. Yeah.
Half the TV shows
Wait,
are just
explain
like.
that. What do you mean? Like
I mean, one of the most popular ones is Yuan Nanio. What's it called? Yuan Nanio Shima.
Yeah, what you're doing, it's just
Yeah.
what you're doing in
They
Japan.
basically just wait at
It's
Narita
cool.
Airport, and then like, and when a foreigner comes through, they just point a camera in and like, hey, what are you doing? And then they're like, he'll be like, I'm gonna learn how to make soba. And they'll be like, can we just follow you? And they're like, yeah. And then they just follow it. Because
I assume 90% of tourists are doing very similar things.
yeah, but they somehow always
I'm
find.
going to swim in the hotel pool. We're like, whoa. we're going to follow that week-long journey for you.
I'd love to watch you reading this sign out. I will not take my underwear off.
Or it'll be like fucking what foreigners top 10 anime openings, and I'll just like ask foreigners on the street. Like there's so many foreigner TV shows.
That's funny.
And I was like, we don't have this in the UK. We like.
Can you imagine a TV crew standing at Heathrow Airport? What are you fucking doing here?
Yeah, this wouldn't work. But it's so popular in Japan as like a genre of TV. Like there's so many.
Do you know what wagko soba is? That just sounds racist. Wagko soba. It's like we eat like lots of little bowls of noodles. It's sort of a challenge. You have to eat like 100.
Oh,
And they're like a little bowl like this. So you have to sort of shot them. I did a video on it years ago, and before it took off, and it's in this place called Morioka, North Japan, very remote. And on that show, a German guy turned up at Haneda, and they interviewed him like, what are you doing? He's like, I've come to try the Vanko soba noodles. And because I saw it on the Abroad in Japan channel. And they followed him all the way up to Japan. It's just this German guy eating like buckets of noodles. And it's quite entertaining. It's quite fun watching foreign folks turn up. And
Some of them do some really cool
crazy
things
shit.
or like odd things.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun.
Well, that sounds cool. I mean, that
That's
sounds
cool
like a
show.
positive.
No, it's
feedback.
great.
I think
It's
it
like
is.
it's
It's
like
a
always
feel-good
positive.
show,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
because they want to like I think Japanese people find it really fascinating to find how foreigners kind of interact with certain things.
Yeah.
And enjoy the culture.
Yeah. People they love it when you appreciate Japanese culture.
I mean, it reminds me when we went to New Zealand and the guy that we met that showed us around, like he loved his country, and like him seeing us experience it was so fun for him. Like he really enjoyed our.
It was so cool.
We feel like that when Americans come to England and Wales. You know.
yeah, like this is a beer.
I see mud in Wales.
This is drinkable beer.
I mean, in the vein of like these things being different than the narrative that is being perpetuated, is there a positive shift in sentiment from people about people immigrating here? Like, is there more of an openness of like people actually not just being tourists, but like settling down, moving here, becoming a part of the culture of Japan? Or because the story you often hear is that people aren't really for that. they might be happy with the tourism, but
I think they only if you sort your trash properly. I think that's the only thing they care about.
Yeah.
Like I think they're pretty welcoming in general. Like people, as long as you're just like integrating.
It's hard to know. I've never seen a study done independently outside of dubious posts on Twitter about people being angry. I don't know. Well, I mean, what I do know, what people like about tourism is folks come, spend their money, go home. Immigration is a different kettle of fish, I suppose, because...
I mean, this is just anecdotal, but the difference of coming here for the first time, I think, closer to 10 years ago versus coming now, even like primarily in Tokyo as well, seeing like way more presumably foreign workers at places like 7-Eleven and stuff like that versus like now it's way more than the 10 years ago I was here.
100%, yeah.
I think we obviously view this from a very like Western, like Anglo perspective where we, you think like most of the foreigners are just white Americans who are like in the
Right,
group,
but that's not the
in
numbers,
the group
right?
chat.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's like less
we're
than
a very
like,
small proportion.
It's like I think
Vietnamese.
America
Chinese,
is like the 10th group of like foreigners here. Like it's like
British people don't even register.
Yeah, British people aren't even on the list. I think it's like
it's you two.
It's us two. I live in the top like 25 countries that like emigrate here. It's
He's
like
the unacceptable face of Britain.
no. I'll take Wales.
It's mainly Vietnamese, Chinese,
Brilliant.
Taiwanese, South Korean.
Yeah. So it's like a tiny group. So like from our perspective, it's like, when we have this conversation in these podcasts in English, it's like, we can't talk at all for like how it is to be Vietnamese living here, right? Or like Chinese. So it's like really hard to like talk on that aspect of it. Because I think there is also treated differently as well. Oh, we got stats. China number 1, Vietnam number 2, South Korea number 3, the Philippines. Brazil. Brazil has a huge history with Japan.
Nepal is above the UK and America. Wow.
It's not even close as well. Yeah,
Nepal is a small country. Like,
if you go to an Indian restaurant here, it's like nearly almost run by Nepalese.
It is, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. But it's really everyone's really chill. At least who I've interacted with, I've never had a bad interaction.
I mean, like most things, right? It's probably very divergent of people's reactions. There's some people who are extreme about it, and others who are.
But I think sometimes people just don't talk to people as well.
Sure. Yeah.
I think a lot of people just don't talk.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're on Twitter, of course it looks bad.
That's everything. Everything looks bad on Twitter.
Everything looks bad on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I
no one's posting
like
a nice interaction.
Don't use Twitter.
It's more exciting to post the headline of like people are racist and unaccepting and won't let anybody in, but it seems disconnected from the reality of just like what I'm looking at.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you guys will know better than me, but I get the sense that even if that is true, there is some sort of like economic discontent in Japan that is causing
for sure
these different like outcroppings that may not be related or like they're not
The cost of living is quite bad. It's got worse.
I mean, it doesn't feel good when people just come to you. I imagine like Japanese people are like, oh great, this guy just buys everything and he can afford everything.
Or they're filling up the restaurant that I go to or
Or
whatever.
like the hotel I used to love going to once a year for my vacation is now triple the price.
Yeah.
and
like
Japanese friends can't leave Japan because the currency's so weak now that it's basically twice as expensive to go overseas.
I think Hawaii has lost a lot of tourism because a lot of Japanese people
I didn't even know that makes
can't
total
go.
sense though.
Because when I went to Hawaii, there's so many things that were in Japanese. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, apparently Hawaii tourism is down because it's just so ungodly expensive.
I'm not sure what is driving the cost of living crisis though, per se.
I'm not educated enough to know what's going on.
Professor Connor.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might be the Ukraine war driving up energy prices or something like that. There was a rice
productivity has
shortage.
always been low.
Remember the rice shortage a few months ago?
I thought that was because of the foreigners. They were eating all the
Right.
rice.
All the foreigners
They eating all the rice.
They must have like what was it like NHK put that out or something? Said that I couldn't believe it.
It was ridiculous.
They said like foreigners. There was like a video of like the NHK guy. It was like foreigners enjoy Japanese rice. It's
Pretty much a shot of an overweight guy.
It was Doug with a shovel. Just
To be fair, he eats so much rice. I've seen this guy.
I do eat a lot.
He's the
I do eat a
problem.
lot.
He's the problem.
And they thought like they thought we were the same guy.
you were like that. I'm Connor.
I'm like, no, please.
He comes in to eat dinner twice in one night at our restaurant. He just keeps. I want to.
TV crew watching you.
We brought it up briefly, but one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, having actually worked with Japanese companies, made your own companies, is you hear a lot about the inefficiency of Japanese businesses. How there's just so much, not only from you guys setting up a business, but like I've read anecdotes of like in a company, you have to move the stapler here, and it doesn't matter if it can be moved over there and it'd be really convenient. Everybody has to go through these processes that you're just told you have to do. You have to stay late and work super late hours, even if you're not doing anything. It's a lot about optics of doing a lot. And then I don't know how much you can share, but we've talked about some of the, for example, sponsor type stuff you've done recently. Yeah. When you work with Japanese companies as a content creator or voice actor, that there's this huge amount of process that happens. So I'm curious, like, what your guys' experiences with that.
If you come to Japan, don't move the stapler. I've never heard that before.
No, this is a YouTube comment, but he was describing how when he was an expat who worked at a Japanese company, and basically just across the board, there were all these ways that people would say, hey, we could run this office way more efficiently. And from as little of a thing as the stapler to like how they send papers, how they do reports, that they were just like, no, this is how you do it.
Yeah,
we do
there
not
is a certain
change.
way of doing things. It usually comes from the person at the top. And a lot of the reason why technological adoption was always a bit behind is older people running the companies are more sort of conservative and not necessarily open to new ideas, which is why we have stereotypes like the fax machine, people using fax machines.
Yeah, that is the stereotype.
Which we still kind of do use a bit occasionally. In the property industry, it's quite common to use fax still because it works. It's quite good, isn't it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, I heard the phrase, I mean, tell me if this is cliche or not true, but there was like, in 1980, Japan was in the year 2000. They were ahead. And now in 2020, they're still in the year 2000. Is there some truth to that?
Yes and
some
no.
truth, some truth.
Okay, some truth. Like most things, some.
I think, using paper is a lot more commonplace than, in the UK, you could do a lot of stuff online, documents. Whereas in Japan, you have to go to the government office, your town hall, and fill out a lot of documents and write and fill out stuff 3 times. So that in that regard, yes.
But they're trying to like get it, the ward office stuff, they're trying to get it more technological.
It's not working.
And it's a lot of people
because they tried to get rid of the stamps.
A lot of people don't like it.
They try to get rid of the handcode stamp.
Especially older people do not want.
They're in a certain way.
Yeah, because like they reintroduced this thing called My Number, which is like there's this thing that essentially it's like this card that kind of has all of your government information on one. And so whenever you go to the government building...
That sounds convenient. That sounds convenient.
Yeah, and like it is... I like it because I'm lazy.
I never got mine, and now they won't give me one. And so I'm like,
signing up to it was a ball ache. So like I had to go in person, like put like a secret PIN code for it and do all this stuff. And I had like a machine that like looked like a voting machine. It was really weird. Everything was really odd. But then the whole concept was that like... For a couple of things, you'd always have to go to the ward office to get like a tax residency proof, like a proof that you were paying tax in Japan. And a lot of things would ask for this occasionally. So you had to, every time you wanted it, you had to go to the ward office, wait for the thing, and then just go to the person, they'll print it off, and then there you go. But it's like a whole process. And the idea behind this thing was that you can go to any convenience store printer, and it has a My Number scanner in it, and then you can do it and then print it off, which I do it. I like it. But then other people complain that they don't want the government knowing their shit. They don't want everything linked, which is fair enough as well. Like,
sure.
And especially old people, because they're like, I got all the time in the world, bro. I just don't want you having all my shit like on one thing.
Support for this show comes from Rocket Money.
Little follow-up for Aiden here. I found an actual conversation between me and Aiden from 2024. 2 things. Number 1, been watching a ton of your videos lately, like even more than normal.
Well, not Twitch though, right?
Great stuff. Number 2, hey, do you actually heavy wreck Rocket Money? I've been skeptical, LOL, but I have a lot of monthly payments and it sounds very convenient. Does it still work if those monthly payments are spread across multiple things?
I would also like to know that.
And I said, I used this actual message in an ad read I just recorded, now twice. Yeah, I F with it heavy. I used it back before I even sponsored me when it was called Truebill, but I have lots of subscriptions and it helps me keep track /cancel. I legit have 20 to 25 new sub that I cycle through with the prices on.
And that's why you should never waste your hard-earned cash on an Atrioc Twitch sub. Never pay for Atrioc Twitch subs again.
I watch more of your
unless you want
content
to.
than usual. And you can't give me $5.
Try Rocket Money for free at rocketmoney.com/lemonade.
So there's maybe some cultural resistance to modernizing and changing all of this.
Maybe. I'd say Japan's built for sort of efficiency though, and things that work per se. And the UK might be more technologically advanced in the way we do documents and things online, but then things break and don't work all the time in the UK.
Yeah,
in Japan,
having apps,
want to make sure stuff bloody works, and that is the most important thing. Over quick adoption of technology that could go wrong.
Yeah, I think they're very, very hesitant to add things or mix things up unless it's proven that it works, like you said.
Can I know we have the 5 white guy Japanese expert pod going really well. I mean, but I actually did want to ask you guys a question about the UK. I don't know how often you go back.
Oh God.
But we were talking at dinner about how there's this like bubble of the UK is doomed YouTube videos. Every different channel has.
It's going to collapse in 30 days.
Yeah, it's like the UK is about to collapse in 30 days. And
when I went over in September and there was like, there's going to be civil war.
yeah, you see all that.
It's like Elon Musk is always trying to incite something like the UK is coming to an end.
What a bell end.
Yeah.
And there was like a big thing while I was there the day before I was in London where lots of folks like had a rally and Elon Musk gave a talk being like, there's going to be war. You got to fight for what you believe in. He doesn't sound that good.
No, he sounds way more nasally than that.
Yeah, it's all a bit sinister, isn't it? But it's all bollocks. When I was there, I was like, oh, it's pretty normal.
That's what it feels very exaggerated, right? It feels very much like what your video described, where it's like taking a few things out of context But
there's a lot of unhappiness, I think, and a lot of things that are 100%. Wrong with the UK. But I think generally, when you're there, it's like, as long as the pub's open, everyone's kind of okay.
There's a difference between unhappiness and civil war, right?
But we're quite far away from that.
Yeah. But there are a lot of influencers that have sprung up
who aren't
in
from
all
the
these
UK.
countries. They go around countries and they sort of try and find problems. And they're like, oh my God, there's some rubbish on the floor. Western civilization's over. And it's just like, oh, fuck off.
I swear
it gets loads of views, though. It gets a lot of clicks.
I swear they're bots.
You think so?
I feel like so many of these accounts are bots.
That's what the internet feels like lately. It's so insane.
I just feel like all this shit online is bots.
If someone doesn't agree with me, bot. I know, that's the thing. That's why I don't want to call it out, because it's like, well,
it's bots, man.
I don't want to call someone a bot for disagreeing, but man, it just feels like Reddit and social. I just see so many posts and I'm like, there's
so many posts that like
ChatGPT,
pop up,
this is
boom, like 500 likes instantly. And I'm like, that's just not normal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there is something at play, definitely. And I see that in the US, the UK, and Japan online. There is something going on there, I feel.
But it's like people like talk about Japan. It's like they've never been here. They maybe come here for like a vacation one time and they've decided how Japan works. It's like, bro, what are you saying?
yeah.
I think there's a general that to go back to your video, the sentiment that you're talking about at the end of that video, where there's a lot of animosity on the internet and it feels like we're kind of in this weird spiral of making increasingly intentionally negative content that gets people riled up, and more people seem to be engaging with that in the recent year.
It's so easy to make people angry about things they never knew about until they saw that video.
But I think the theme across all of these places is like, I think there is a shared experience of economic strife pretty much everywhere of my life feels like it's not going in a great direction. I'm struggling. I'm just generally in a bad place. So I'm more likely to like snap and say something negative, latch onto something negative, and play into whatever negative narrative might be playing about someplace.
And I feel like a lot of people are being taken advantage of without realizing it by sort of being subtly manipulated to the right for that reason, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we've got to find someone to blame that the economy is fucked.
Yeah, you're molding your unhappiness in a certain direction.
Who's the easiest target, in all those countries? Who can we call out as being the main reason?
Dude, we were laughing about how, one of the things that has come up recently is that this, blaming some problems in Japanese politics on foreigners, and the idea of issues in Japan being substantially blamed on foreigners when you have like effectively so few foreign-born people living in the country.
Exactly. It can happen, yeah.
And I was like, it's truly a timeless strat. Like it shows that no matter how few immigrants you have, you still can blame them.
Exactly.
The meta can change, but it always works. This one strat has like consistently worked.
Because in my head, right, in the US, it's like, okay, well, I get, but surely, like you couldn't use this. Like if we had 20% less immigrants, you couldn't still be saying that. And Japan's like, let me show you.
Absolutely. But no, when I dig into this rage bait across the board, across all these channels, it does feel like there's some sort of subtle way of trying to nudge people over to the right politically.
Yeah, I think rage bait,
something to be angry at that they didn't know existed.
It's a good word for it, because it does not just in serious political subject. It's in gaming. It's in every aspect
and
of
it doesn't have to be to political ends. It's just you can make money by pissing people off.
I think that's the truth of it.
Yeah, the fact that Twitter gives you ad revenue is the single greatest mistake of all of this. It should never have been incentivized. You get money to have opinions. It's terrible.
Have the most controversial,
If you have the most interactable opinion, you get paid the most. It's insane.
It is kind of like being able to post, like, you can now experience like poll from 4chan, but with monetization for
It's
your post.
crazy. It's fucked up.
like I can make a rack on my post about how like the Jews are ruining America, and that's like and that's fine on the platform now.
Well, all right. Why do you guys feel that's we're all YouTubers of sorts. Why do you guys feel YouTube's different? It's same incentive
not,
structure,
right? I mean, that's the point. I think
what in terms of that doesn't exist?
Well, I just mean like you're mentioning, that on Twitter, it's like this was this terrible decision to, but the same
Twitter's
thing is
mostly bots, though.
I think it's a lot harder to
you
make
can't
someone
make a bot YouTube video as easily at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like you have to put so much of your personality on there, and that's why you have to be so willing to like be that person. That I think is tough, and also you just demand more time and attention, which is tough.
With
For
YouTube,
YouTube,
you mean?
For YouTube,
Yeah,
And you get,
I can see
you
that.
get more money. I don't know.
You
I
can,
feel like
but
the
then
same.
that's why like we do have a lot of
like the
people
same problem
who are obviously
happens.
successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, but I would say a lesser extent because you can't just be a faceless person. From a bot that's like. I think
there's
there's
less
I agree because
anonymity.
on Twitter, I feel like you can't reasonably make money making
Reasonable content.
reasonable good content, but you can on YouTube. I don't know why it's different because it's both monetized.
If you have to click read more on Twitter, bro, get the fuck out of here. It's over. It's
Well,
like
on
you're
YouTube,
sorry.
you can. Yeah, like you guys are making great, compelling, like reasonable, nice content, and you can make a lot of money with that. So
I think it's because you need trust in a platform to be able to do that, though. Like the reason that I clicked on your video is because I have an understanding of you and your content and the consistency of it, right? So I'm interested, even though your take is combating a very angry narrative at its core, right? And you're basically taking a pretty mellowed out approach to like, this shit's just not that crazy. And that's kind of the core message, right? But if I'm a person who doesn't have trust and a following behind that, I'm less likely to engage with it.
Absolutely. Well, that's what scares me the most as well, though. As I've got a few million people that follow me about Japan. And over the last decade, I've built up a sense of trust and community of people that sort of learn about Japan through my content. And that gives me a massive amount of responsibility and power almost in how I shape opinions about Japan.
Yeah.
It's quite a level of responsibility, almost to a not so fun degree. People analyze what I say and think. And imagine if I went out round, Shinjuku and I went, Japan's fucked, guys. It's so bad. And I curated a series of images.
picked the right.
Yeah, I could manipulate millions and create this image of Japan that doesn't fundamentally exist because of that position, right? And sure, some
But
people
you could
be
get
like,
a 1 out of 10 YouTube video.
I'm sure, some people will be like, Chris, mate, Kabukicho Shinjuku is not illustrative of Japan.
Yeah.
Most people might not have been to Japan. They won't know that. They trust
Because
me.
most people watching the
I'm a
videos
reliable
aren't, yeah.
source. And so how I present Japan is I have a burden of responsibility in how I project and present the country, And when I called out the video that I did, I felt that was fundamentally not reality, what I was seeing. Yeah. Especially as the content in question was literally on a road I walked down several times a week. But I think it is a burden of responsibility on all creators to call out things they see that they believe to be fundamentally wrong. Otherwise, the bad guys win because nobody's combating it, right?
Yeah.
The whole fucking platform's being flooded with sewage. We have to combat that. We have to come up against it. Otherwise,
But it's tough. I think of that sometimes because
you don't want to get involved in drama and
you
shit.
don't want to get involved with drama, and then also
Yeah.
it's like on some base level, it's what they want because it adds attention.
Yeah,
It gives them
you feel
attention.
And I had that conundrum when I
feeds-
made my video. A lot
Yeah.
of friends were like, "Don't do it," and I was like, really at war with myself. But then I was like, "It's important. I have to."
No, I thought it was quite
this,
good,
in
yeah.
this subject. I have to do it. But yeah, I don't like drama. It's horrible having to get waddle through all that. Of course, you
It
get good
becomes
views and
like
stuff. but-
a pissing contest sometimes as well,
Yeah.
which is also a frustrating aspect of it.
And when I made my video on that subject, and this is a video called "What's Happening to Japan," right? And I showed my friends the script, and many of them were like, "Don't do this" or whatever. But then when I made the video and I showed them, they're like, "Actually, this is quite good. You've made your point." But yeah, I think it's important to combat things like that we see online. It's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, you never want to look petty.
No.
Yeah, it's
You did a good job not. I thought it was a broader message. It was
I
broadly
had to
applicable.
extract all the humour from it, essentially, and go in quite seriously. But yeah, there's a lot of shit online, isn't there?
There's a lot of shit.
Can I ask you guys about a specific genre that I've been seeing proliferate on YouTube
Oh gosh,
about Japan?
it's exciting.
So this is I don't know if this is just my algo or if this is actually new, but I've seen a wave of shorts and long form videos that are from the usually first person POV of like salaryman working in Tokyo or like young woman working in Tokyo, and it's them going through their day over and over, usually with like full English subtitles and mostly with a tone of like, this is how harsh and like draining life is in Japan.
Yeah, I've seen
and I've
some of
seen
that.
a ton of these channels.
You know, I saw one of them, and I thought there was something fishy about it.
Yeah.
I saw one where his commute, because I recognized where he was going. I was like, this is the weirdest commute. It was like a commute. It was like a commute from like literally the center to the outside of Tokyo. And I was like, why would you pay rent
To live in the center.
be in the center to commute out where it's presumably cheaper? And it was like an hour and a half commute.
What was the job?
He wanted to go to the bar.
It was like it wouldn't show you. It was like, do you know the one I'm talking about?
I have an idea of what you're saying, because I had this exact creeping feeling of this. Something feels off about this content. It's something to do with like the presentation and the like choice of English words. All
Yeah,
of these
the
channels
English
are
was weird.
faceless. Like
Yeah.
there's something that feels sinister about this. Like they're not presenting an actual honest view of. Part of me does not believe this is an actual.
It was like an
Japanese
AI
person.
thumbnail, had like 10 million views, and then like it was just
They do the Studio Ghibli AI generated
yeah, it
thumbnail.
was Studio Ghibli,
But
I
it's
think.
it's not just one. There's a lot now.
I mean,
that's crazy.
There are people out there who've worked out how you can print money on YouTube by gaming algorithms and getting people to click on certain topics.
And like I don't think like I'm not saying that this person isn't working this job or whatever, but
Yeah.
all I was thinking, I was watching it, I was like, this is a bit odd. Like
What was the
everything
job
about
they
this
were doing?
they didn't say.
Okay.
It was just like they were kind of going over the commute, and then they went to
Did you ever see their face?
No,
or-
you
okay.
don't see their face. But they go to Shinagawa Station, which is quite a famous looking station for looking. It's the one with the giant.
Big crowds of people.
It's got a giant hole. I think it's Shinagawa Station. Can
It's
we check?
Shinagawa,
Yeah, they've got this very iconic looking thing, and it's a massive commuter area because it's one of the biggest stations. It's got a bullet train attached to it, and so yeah, it does look kind of crazy when you see this station because this is a very famous like spot where that's like it's
There's
normally full.
I haven't seen these videos, but I don't understand how this is sinister. It sounds like a guy commuting to work.
It's
can
not
be
sinister.
sinister.
Not
It's
sinister.
sinister.
Yeah, sinister is the wrong.
Not sinister.
Maybe insidious. I don't. Like,
but I don't even
it feels
understand-
like I'm being tricked. It feels like I'm not being presented a
Exactly.
real person's
Yeah.
commute of Japan. It feels like they understand the
Yeah.
algorithmic appeal of this content
Yeah.
and have edited together a bunch of clips of somebody walking through Japan and are creating a fake sob story about how shit their job is.
Yes.
And then putting that on YouTube. And there are some of these channels, like there's one or two, where the guy making the videos actually shows himself. And like he also happens to be the person in this group of channels I've watched that has like the most reasonable day. and all the people that say they're working 15-hour days, 7 days a week, and have the shittiest commute all never show themselves.
So it's probably a real person had a 9-hour day or whatever, and then someone started copying it and making a fake 10, 11, 12, 14,
Yeah.
15.
And
like-
I've just been seeing a lot of these channels, and they all have weird names and like branding for their channels. And I wanted to know if you guys were on the beat of like how real
I've seen
or
a
not this
few,
was.
yeah. I've seen a few.
I just don't
Some
know
I think
what
are
the
real
idea
people,
is. Yeah.
and they're making content. They probably made one video, it took off, and they keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, there probably is channels out there like that have sussed you can make good views through doing that. I could do it if I had to. I'd go out and make a channel like that, not show my face, and I could curate the sort of day designed to, evoke emotions and get people clicking and tell a story.
It's weird that people want to hear that foreigners are bad and Japan's being ruined, but also that being a Japanese person is bad and shitty. And like, everything
How
has
do
to
we
be.
know they're Japanese? That's the
I guess
thing,
it's
right?
true. Yeah.
I could present such a video without showing my face.
Yeah, you're right.
Rent out an apartment in Tokyo for 4 or 5
Yeah,
thousand.
here's my time.
you know.
The thing that's strange to me about this genre, because I've only seen a couple of them, but it never shows or talks about the details of the job.
Yeah.
It's here is I wake up and here's my commute. It's so long. Here's okay, skip ahead. We're at lunch. Look at how shitty my lunch is. Skip ahead. I'm at home. Oh, this was the longest day ever. And so there's no substance about what their life is. It's essentially my commute blows.
So strange.
And my hours
You could
blow.
do that. You could do that in Los Angeles.
But like that's the thing. Like
It would be so sad if you did the LA
it
one.
was sadder in LA.
Me saying it's my commute and I walk through Skid Row every day. Like just
You get on a bus
in
or
traffic watching these videos to feel better about myself because I'm in a 2 hour.
What do you even call that kind of content though? Reality bait, you know?
But then they, like,
it's commute bait.
But
It's
then
about the
commute bait.
commute.
But
It's-
working in Japan is bad and like
Sure,
hard.
yeah.
So it's weird to kind of, it's all just an
It's
odd.
not weird though, is
odd.
it? You can make money from doing it.
Yeah, true. You can make
It's
money.
really
I suppose,
easy,
yeah.
and that's all there. Once you've
I guess that's
monetized
the
the
source
platform,
of
you can do anything
all
to
this.
get away with it. You know,
Yeah.
I did want to ask you because I know you have experience working in a more traditional company, Japanese
McDonald's.
company structure.
McDonald's.
You went to McDonald's?
who's the best?
I used to work for McDonald's.
Did you really?
Yeah, when I was like
way.
16.
The burgers never tasted so
You
good.
got the Nate shot. You,
Wait till I start gambling on stream. Right?
I used to work
coming
at Dairy
next.
Queen. I used to
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. We've been in the trenches.
But in working with I think it was the first agency you worked at, or
Yeah, so I'm very lucky. I just kind of came over with an agency as it was formed.
Yeah.
Maylene, who is an American who's been living a long time in Japan, working in a Japanese company. She kind of pitched an idea to start a talent agency to Kadokawa, really big subsidiary. And they were like, okay. And we had done some sponsorships for another branch of the company that did digital manga for foreigners. So that's how we kind of got in. So me, Gant, and Joey came over.
Wait, so sorry. This was starting. So you were in the UK.
In the UK. Me and Gant were in the UK, and Joey was in Japan at the time because Joey's Japanese.
and you
did
guys
this
start
show start in the UK?
No.
Okay,
So we all moved over.
in the UK. Is it voice acting work that you start doing with them, or is it more content creation?
YouTube. I was promoting the digital manga on my YouTube platform, and then that was how they were like, "Oh, you should come on over." So Maylene brought us over, and at the time it was just all new because I think also it's still like all the visa laws and everything haven't really considered YouTubing as a job yet because they're so old. So it was all like, what do we do? What visa do you come over on and all that stuff? So we kind of just went through that process. And I mean, the Geeks Plus as a company, Maylene started it. And so it was just Maylene, us three, and one other HR staff person. That was it.
And
So
this
it
is
was
like 2019,
2019, yeah. So
2019,
Maylene
okay.
like really built it all up.
Just before
And now
COVID,
it's like a bigger company. I don't know how many employees Geeks has now, but quite a lot.
I mean, from stories that you've shared, the thing you have some experience with the quirks of doing business within a traditional Japanese company because of this, like little like traditions that people wouldn't expect, not necessarily bad things, just like funny things, interacting through that company, like whether it be a company party or
Company parties
culture.
were fun. I like those though. Those are hype. But then they stopped doing them after COVID.
Wait, really?
Kinda. I feel like in Japan in general, they've kind of stopped nomikais
Yeah,
now.
it's. I think the drinking after work culture sort of tapered off a bit.
After COVID, that changed?
Yeah, but then people don't like
Wow.
drinking as much in general in Japan.
Young
right?
people don't drink as much in Japan.
Well, that's America too.
Well, that was like when they had that big news story. Remember when they were like, they were trying to do ads to get young people to drink alcohol?
Yeah,
Because the alcohol sales were down. And then they did like a
let's
government
enjoy
push.
alcohol and like trying to encourage people.
Yeah, the
to
government
drink.
encouraged people, you guys should
That's
drink beer.
funny.
It's fun.
Stimulate business.
I just saw the CEO of Heineken, that same problem. He came out and said, he was like trying to pitch Gen Z on drinking. He's like, it'll make you more social. You'll have more friends. Like, you know, we had a great night drinking, bro. I was like, listen, you meant not wrong.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw those articles and stuff about people who drink more, get more opportunities or something. I don't know how true it was.
They're really pushing it. That's so funny.
Yeah, I think I've been trying to really like push that lately.
I think it'll bounce back the way that like smoking was almost dead. And then vaping. I think Gen Alpha's gonna be drunks, bro. They're gonna drink like greatest Gen. They're gonna
Some
drink
more
like
sort of new, like distilled, easy to drink format, like a vape. Right?
apple juice with.
right.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but like overall, like I had to do a lot of like forms and I had to clock in and clock out and stuff like that as a YouTuber.
Really?
Yeah,
You had to clock in with a form for
tight.
YouTubing.
I had to clock in. For visa requirements, I had to clock in.
You make your commute video. It's like you waking up at 4 p.m. and rolling out of
But
bed.
it was like we had a better system for doing it, luckily. But it was, and then now we don't have to do it as much, and it depends. It's all been shifted now, so we found a better way. But it was all new, right? So like everything was just so.
That's interesting.
And so like it was all at that time, YouTubing and coming over for Japan to do YouTubing was very new. And Chris was like a rare occurrence. Someone who'd been
You
doing
was
it
his
before.
friend. He was watching you.
Yeah, mine's
like
like,
a-
but like you've been doing it like through a more traditional avenue and doing it differently. But it's but that and then the company parties were cool.
Did you ever do Kagami Biraki?
What's Kagami Biraki?
It's like the turning of the mirror, and it's like at the start of the new year, you get like a barrel of like sake and you smash it with a
We didn't
mallet.
do that. We didn't do that. But I'm
And
sure maybe the
when
higher
I was at the
That's
school,
badass.
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like, you start the new year by breaking this barrel of like sake. And
You'll
I
see
did it
them
with the
around
school
New Year's.
principal.
You'll see these like little rope-looking barrel things. They're full of sake.
So you break at the beginning,
You
you
go
drink it by the
like
end.
1, 2, 3, bang. And I did it with me, a new teacher that I worked with, and the school principal. And I did it so hard it like exploded all over the principal. It was like a Mario fucking level, bang, and like fucking the barrel of fucking sake went
Also,
over his face.
it was like my second
man.
week into being in Japan. Maylene was like, "Oh, you got to come to this company event." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I went there, and it was a giant concert hall that the whole company had rented out, and there was tables. And then I got put with like 5 Japanese people from a different company that I didn't know any.
Okay, that's
and this time I didn't speak any Japanese.
Oh, dang.
And it was like for the next 2 hours, you guys have to build a car and a ramp, and whoever can build the longest wins.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Did your engineering degree pay off?
Yeah, and then they were all like
Hey.
sitting there, and they were all like making this thing, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, I had like an hour," and I was like, "Oh, engineering degree." And they were
Yes.
like, "What? Why didn't you say something?"
You've been silent for an hour.
You thought you were mute. Then I tried to do something, it didn't even work. So I was like, they were like, "Fuck this guy."
When British engineering collides with
They
Japan.
were like, "Boeing desk, Boeing shows."
Foreigners are coming here and ruining our engineering.
They were like, "This guy fucking
They
blows."
cancel their Boeing flights.
But then they would be like, afterwards, they would like rent out a giant ferry, and you'd just drink on the ferry. It was like crazy. It was really fun though.
That
It was-
sounds fun.
Yeah, and then you would have
You
these
got a
little
ferry and I
enclaves.
got a barrel. I hit a barrel.
Yeah, but it was like a giant conglomerate that was a part of it. Yeah. So it was really cool though. It was really fun. And it was like to me when I was like, what was I, 23? I was like, this is so sick. And I got to like speak to Japanese people all the time, and it was like cool because I was like trying to practice, and it was really fun. It was exciting. There was like I didn't see a lot of the downsides, luckily, because I didn't have to work like crazy hours either. I just did that voluntarily, right? Because I was a YouTuber. I was like, I'll just.
Work parties in Japan are really trippy because people get drunk and they speak
open
their
up.
minds.
They open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Japan, what was it? Hone and
Home, tatame, yeah.
and like you have like a public stance and a private stance, and at work people always have this guard up and they never speak their mind, and then at the party they'll drink one beer and they'll be like, I fucking hate Takeshi-san. Literally, it was really, teachers would come up to me and tell me like insane things.
It was so fun, but then like I
That's
almost
great.
interact with these guys through parties, and you probably did too. Maybe not teachers, but mine parties, and then I'd see them in the office, and they were like so cold.
They pretended like,
Well, that's
Yeah.
what you would tell
Yeah.
me. I think you told me like some party or get together. You'll have a situation where maybe somebody gets too drunk and they'll kind of do something that is kind of over the line or embarrass themselves,
Yeah.
and then everybody shows up to work the next day and just collectively agrees to not talk about it.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
one-
and then everybody just moves on.
I was
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
work party and like 3 guys just went completely naked and ran around going, and then 8 hours later we're in the office, they were like on the laptop.
Well, yeah, it's like the agreement because you
In
work
the
so.
UK, you'd be like, "Ah, it's fun with it last night."
Yeah,
Like,
that's
fuck.
so funny.
In Japan, they're like, nothing.
Yeah, what
Didn't
happens in the
happen.
party? You're not allowed to talk about during
It's
work.
quite an
Interesting.
interesting dynamic. It was quite
I mean, I
trippy.
can see the
be fair,
pluses and
if-
minuses, right?
Yeah,
There's that-
yeah.
If you work like 12 hours a day, you want to at least be able to like get drunk and not be worried about what you do.
No. But it is funny that you would like you could make friends with someone
Yeah.
only in that moment, and
Yeah.
and it's like a different person.
It genuinely tripped me out the first year or so because it's hard to wrap my head around. Because then at work, you're like, "Can we talk about?"
Yeah,
this?"
you
Bit
opened up
where
to
you
me
were
last
like
night.
naked, running around like a, and we couldn't. It was really weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny how it works. But you get used to it, like everything in Japan. You just get used to it. It becomes the norm.
Well, I think maybe a theme of this episode right now is maybe more so criticisms than praise, but it's nice to hear like good things.
No, Japan's awesome, man. I mean, that's why we live here. Like,
You
I
wouldn't
know.
stay here if you didn't love it. Yeah,
But after living here for so long and having companies here and hiring people doing all these different things, what are I don't know some other standout or favorite things about being here? Like what are the best things in your guys' mind?
I mean, quality of life here is just so high.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, just being able to walk around at night, not have
Yeah.
to ever look over your shoulder. I think safety. I think that's something you take for granted. I was talking to Japanese friend the other day that went to the UK and got like robbed 8 seconds after arriving at Heathrow Airport. And it's for God's sake.
You can't have your phone out like in the street.
Yeah, a good friend of mine is going to going to the UK soon. I had to sort of be like, be careful at like Westminster Bridge and don't leave your bags down.
Yeah, I mean, Pete was telling us his wife got robbed by her
Pete's
bag.
wife.
Yeah,
It was
£4,000 or whatever. That's crazy.
So you got to keep. That's something. You can walk through the deepest, darkest stretches of Shinjuku and Kabukicho, and it's like, it's safe, it's fine. As long as you don't follow the street touts into a random bar.
Yeah, just don't follow the touts.
But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, like everyone's really nice, and sometimes people complain that people are like fake nice and just putting on, but like a lot of the times people are just genuinely really nice and welcoming. I've seldom had bad experiences here or conversations with people. It's always really friendly. People are so excited that you speak Japanese always.
There's just a sense of harmony across the country. I've never seen people shouting or fighting publicly or anything like that. There's just a nice sense of harmony around the country, and there is definitely utopian qualities to Japan that the world would.
Yeah, I think people
just
do
export.
the thing Japan, right, is a big like meme, and I think people are also pushing back against that online a lot now. And they're trying to find bad things about Japan, so they feel
There's
like
more real.
Yeah, like there certainly are bad things. It's a country.
nowhere's a
I
utopia.
mean, I should just
There's
be able to
no-
get in the fucking pool, man.
He's so bitter about it.
But it's also like a fucking amazing country. Like it's really cool. Like and
That makes sense.
it's such an amazing place. Like I think I feel very lucky that I'm allowed to live here and
100%,
and
yeah.
contribute hopefully.
For your content, you do a really good job of showing interesting, cool things all over the country. Have you thought about what that looks like 10 years from now? Is it eventually going maybe like you could spend another 10, 15 years in a different country and do the same thing all over again with a bunch of new possibilities? Or do you think it's Japan for the rest of your life?
I don't know. I'm still not bored of traveling Japan, making videos. I've been to every single prefecture in Japan, the equivalent of like going to every state, I suppose. Although I suppose every state in America is like the size of Japan, so maybe not.
True.
But and I'm still
There's a
not
Walmart
bored.
in every one.
There's still so many fascinating stories to be told and people to meet. I don't know. I don't know if I would do another country. I think because I've been here 12 years, I sort of have it is like my specialty, right? If I went to Brazil, I'd need years to accrue that cultural knowledge before I could make a video on it and feel comfortable about that. So I don't know. I think I'd probably maybe next year get more of a balance between Japan content and doing more, I don't know, commentary stuff or more humour stuff or commentary stuff. I don't know.
We did some UK videos as well.
And we've been to UK. I'm sure
The UK
Connor and I
video.
will do some more stuff in the UK. We talked about doing some stuff in Europe, maybe.
Maybe it'd be an exciting video you can make when like Wales finally builds a road or
I'll be there for the opening, bro. I'll cut the ribbon.
First round.
I'll cut the ribbon.
I rode the first road of Wales.
So, Chris, I think for you, it's very interesting that you did the bar route, and then you also have another business, right? That's been 9 months in or something like that.
I had a few things. I mean, I had 2 years ago, I had a book come out, which I spent a lot of time bloody writing, and that did really well. And became like the best-selling book in England for like a few weeks.
Oh, nice.
Which blew my mind.
What was the book?
I was just called Abroad in Japan. It was an original title.
Your story?
Into that name.
That's like my book. We just use the title of the channel.
You guys are both authors.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so I, as somebody who has been doing YouTube for 7 years full time now, I think it's interesting to see more and more, let's say, content creators expanding into other businesses that are often like more a physical or more traditional thing. Our best friend is, we know a guy who makes chocolate now, but then for example, you making the bar, I think is a really interesting way to like leverage this online space. But a lot of people just want to play video games forever, and so I'm curious, like, how you see your future.
I mean, there's lots of you can be quite cynical and be like, "Oh, you started the bar for money." I just don't think we've even made a profit from it yet.
Dude,
anyway.
I don't think people realize how unprofitable it is to go try to run a like it's so much harder.
Genuinely, like with the bar, I could all the the year of preparation and planning and everything. If I just made videos, I would have made a lot more money.
This
And put in a lot
podcast,
of
That's what's
stress.
in this pod.
this
dude.
podcast, I would
just
make so much more money if we didn't do
I know,
this.
and I think that's the thing that annoys me whenever I do something new. People are like cynical. He's doing it for the money, Or to write a book took a year to write the book. I love writing it. At no point did I think this is about money. Yes, I had to do it from a place of experience and passion, and it took a year. And it's not easy writing a book. And with the
Speak for yourself. My book was quite easy.
He's a natural. You wrote
should
so.
he's a fucking ghostwriter. When I went
You
to
got
the
right. You did ghostwriter.
Should just use a ghostwriter, innit?
Wait, what?
You did a ghostwriter for yours, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of influencers that use ghostwriters, and I was like, why would you do that? Oh, it's for money.
Yeah.
If you can't sit down and write your own book, maybe don't bother. Go and do something else. You know?
I mean, that's what I think is so interesting is like, you know, as much as it might sound silly to somebody who doesn't do this job, it's pretty hard, and there's a lot of skills we have to develop and build to do this job.
And I think that's the challenge, isn't it? There's the personal growth and the experience of getting to do all these things.
Yeah, yeah.
I look back and I go, the bar probably shaved 2 years off my life due to the stress of it all. But it's been really cool meeting viewers and the experience of starting a new business and seeing what it takes to run a bar and the operations side of things. On a purely educational level, it's been quite fascinating.
Do you think you would do more stuff, whether it's more physical places or, you know, I don't know, like a bigger documentary or film or something? Do you see yourself definitely expanding beyond the...
I think that's actually a problem, though. I think too many influencers expand and do too much shit and dilute their brand. You know, I remember when I had a meeting with Mr. Beast's manager years ago, and they were trying to bring me on their company. It was like Night Media, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get me to do. They were like, "What do you want to do, bro?" And I'm like, "Oh, documentary or film." And he's like, "Yeah, you want to be like Mr. Beast?" And I was like, "Not really, no." He's like, "We can help you with that." And he was
I
like,
want to make a film. Oh, like Mr. Beast? Famous for films.
it felt a bit like.
Come see the Abroad in Japan theme park in Riyadh.
It's going to be fucking amazing.
Okay, I will say though, Abroad in Riyadh. That's a good sound. That's a good sound.
Abroad in Riyadh, you come to the bar,
That'll be the pivot.
no alcohol, you get to shoot a journalist.
It's a recreation of the bar.
Oh, God.
Little prefectures in Japan recreated. You get to walk through them.
But yeah, I mean, that meeting, it was very cynical for me. It was like, at no point was like, you know, the passion side of things, or telling a story was more like, how can we make money? And I get that that's, you know, important. That money's important to some organizations. But yeah, I do it because it's like an experience and it's fun and it's exciting, you know, or it's a problem that's being challenged. Like the eSIM company, we set up an eSIM company. It took like a fucking year to sort all that out. It was really long and stressful. And that came from like numerous friends just didn't know what eSIM to use, or eSIM when they came to Japan. I had a friend who I hung out with and his phone was broken and rubbish. And then my family came and they're like, what should I use? And I'm like, I don't know. And I thought, well, this is clearly a problem if you've got these companies and nobody knows which one's good. Let's try and make one that's good. And that's where that came from, you know.
Support for this show comes from Vanta. Every time before we record, there's a 45-minute period where we have to calm down Aiden. We give him treats, we give him snacks, we let him watch his favorite YouTube videos, and then we're able to actually do the podcast. It is chaos.
It is absolute chaos.
Why do you guys ever want to hang out?
It's not a good business strategy, though. And Vanta can help you out there.
Get back.
It is an AI-powered security expert that scales with your business. That's going to help you make sure your customers are happy and you avoid all of the shenanigans that happen from this chaotic third host that we have. You can get started at vanta.com/lemonade. That's
VANTA.com/lemonade.
Thanks so much, Aiden. Too chaotic. Get out of here.
They do kind of sting, huh?
Hey, good. You're back. We can keep
You ready?
the important
Are you ready to
stuff in
start?
check.
I'm ready. Support for this show comes from Vanna. It comes from Vanna.
Chaos is gone.
Good.
Let's do a podcast. Let's change the world.
We can do it now.
Support for this show comes from Quince.
Okay, so Quince sponsored us before, gave us some really nice clothes, and they're fantastic. Affordable, fashionable, really like them. But my girlfriend was mad at me that we didn't get the bed sheets. I bought them recently. They're amazing.
Bed sheets. Have you ever been in a relationship? That's ridiculous. That's a massive fumble.
He said we got the clothes from Quince, but I got one shirt and you took everything else home. You got all of the clothes from Quince. It just was one nice cashmere shirt for me. That was it.
Still we.
How are those bed sheets?
They're amazing. So are the clothes.
Get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/lemonade for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in
Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/lemonade.
Lemonade.
Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/lemonade. When you're running that, I was curious with that business or the bar, are you guys hiring Japanese employees?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, we only have one rule. They must be British.
just as an example, right? Like my experience is coming here, mostly working with you guys, and then
Tom only hires people from Wales. Only hires Welsh people.
and Kai's over there. Kai's from Australia. Am I doxing you, Kai? I'm sorry.
And his address is, and his greatest fears are.
But and this, maybe that makes sense for this sort of like content environment. But I was curious what your guys' experience is like hiring people locally.
I like to get a balance. I think for the eSIM company, there's like 3 Japanese people and 2 American guys, and so it's a bit of a balance. With the bar, I think it's about half and half as well. But it's really cool hiring Japanese people, locals. Did a documentary last year, and that was all a Japanese crew, so mostly. So absolutely. Nice. There's no like, I don't kind of look at. I
think not intentionally dividing it or excluding it. I was just curious if that you had experience with
not at all. But you hire people that you think are going to be good. It's the number one rule, I'd say. It's people that are good at their field. Yeah.
It's also so interesting what you mentioned about the Mr. Beast company, who also reached out to me, but I think they blast out to a lot of creators.
Yeah.
But I think they're one of many folks for whom they talk to people like us who are, have this degree of success and, could leverage that for something more. And they go into the conversation with the assumption of like, you should make this as big as possible. Even setting aside money, setting aside the money, it just should be bigger. Like, why aren't you, you could do this big a business. So that's why it's interesting to hear that your headspace is actually, you just want to tell stories and the bar is an interesting way of doing that rather than that being part of like an expanding empire, which certainly does not sound like your interest. And for me, I have a similar thing where I'm like, if I want to expand into other areas, but I'd want it to be tightly coupled with what I think is my core interest and competency. And not if somebody was like, you could open a wildly successful burger chain in Japan, I was like, no, I don't care. Like, it's not important to me. Like, I don't want it just for the sake of.
You have to get some personal enjoyment out of it, right? You have to really enjoy the process. And with videos, I think a lot of YouTubers get big, take the step away from the videos, and they can suffer for it. Whereas I realized that. Maybe I outsource too much editing and too much of the filming process of my YouTube channels to other people. And I realized, oh, wait, this is the thing I love the most, like making the videos.
Right.
So I sort of stepped back into filming myself and editing myself a bit more often, which is obviously going to compromise how much revenue I can make because the first rule of YouTube
you only have
is
so much time.
You guys don't sit around editing this video, right? You've got other things to make. And
I edit them all personally, actually. It's going to come out in 6 years.
What how does it look for you right now? Do you have other projects in the future or other companies, ideas that you have sitting around in your head that you want to turn into businesses or just new types of projects that you haven't pursued before?
I think video games are just ruining my life.
I've had this thought about yours and because you
We're
and
not going to expand on that, or
I'm going to ask him about that. This is about what he's saying. This is about what he's saying.
I was like, wow, that sounded really interesting.
It's about what you're saying. It's about what you're saying. And I want to jump in. Okay, so you and Squeaks are like the 2 creators that I watch.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Wow.
Yeah. And I was thinking about, because I used to do more variety gaming stuff, and now I'm doing more news stuff.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I was like, I think this is important. I should talk about this stuff. But I've been more thinking lately that I feel like you guys, by just doing really positive, consistent, good gaming stuff and making this space that's safe, you're doing more good for the world than anything else. Like, I truly
right. Interesting.
I actually think this. So I want to know what you're like. Are you just doing it because you love games, or do you feel like you're creating something there? I don't know.
I don't feel like I'm creating anything.
Okay.
I feel like I like games. I like games.
That's a humble way to look at it, but I don't know. Like, especially,
I mean, like it's cool. I got a lot of. I'm sure you've all got people that you employ as well, or have people on your team that help, and it's cool to just be able to be like, yeah, man, I got this cool guy who just helps make the videos, and he gets paid really well, and he gets to do whatever he wants. I don't tell him what to do. He just does it.
That part's unusual. Just so you're aware.
It'd be funny if your books are terrible, your business is falling apart. You never checked.
Well, that's like when I don't know. I know everyone's very different, but like if I have to micromanage, it's I can't do it. Like, 'cause I'm fucking degenerately gaming for 12 hours a day. It's like ridiculous. I can't sit there and like.
But you're
tell you
playing
what
to your strength, which is that you're a natural sort of performer, and you enjoy the performance aspect of it, right?
I try
It's, also,
to.
it's degenerate gaming, but it's positive. It's not like, I'm not going to name any names, but there's like degenerate gaming that is a more negative tilt to it. And I think that you're
Games
not
are so sick, though.
If you can believe it.
But games are so good.
How can you be negative?
You know, I don't know. It reminds me again of your video. It's like
also, I think, I don't know about, I know Squeaks plays a variety of games, but I try not to play like games that are only current as well. I try to play like a lot of older
no, you
games.
do play some weird ones, honestly.
I do play some
You only
fucking
played
weird
Bioshock recently.
I played Bioshock recently. Like, I just play a game that I'm like, I really always wanted to play this game, and I'm like, all right, let's film it, let's do it, let's just stream it, and then hopefully it's good, and I try to find, because I realize, you know, man, I'm sure maybe you've had this point in your life where you start to consume a lot of things, and you realize that often either you are just consuming it to consume, like just to have an opinion on it, or just to like watch it because you've heard like someone said it's good, or that you watched it and you weren't like trying to find enjoyment from it, but you were just watching it. You know what I mean? Have you ever done this?
just to fill time, just so like your brain is used to it.
Yeah. So like when I would play a game, it's like I know that there are a lot of people who enjoy this game. I know people who had an aspect of their childhood that's tied to it, and it's like I'm going to go into this and try my best to like enjoy it, like try to find everything that's good about it, even if I like hate certain things, and I will fucking complain when I don't like something. And people always get mad at me for doing that when I get tilted. They're like, no, it's great. It's great that the menu has 15 layers in it and you got to fucking get. I'm like, no, you fucking, this is dumb. So I got, you know, but I've just found myself trying to like really be more conscious about appreciating media that I consumed. And maybe that comes off in the videos. I don't know.
No, I think it does.
Try to. But big projects,
It's just refreshing.
I think I appreciate that. That's cool. But I wish I had big projects. I mean, Chris is doing some cool stuff, and I like what Chris is doing. It's great because I get free eSIMs.
What the bloody hell am I doing? Oh, right,
I get free drinks at bars.
He's just losing off.
Yeah, all I have to do is be like, it's the best, and it is. It's free. No, I'm kidding. No.
You're just going to focus on the aspect of that you enjoy the most. Colin's a natural performer. I enjoy the filming side, holding the camera actually, and the cinematography. It's my favorite bit.
But I've been doing a lot of hosting for panels and company like videos. Did like a Bandai Direct, hosted that. That was really fun. I hosted something for the British Embassy recently. That was really fun. Just hosting is so fun.
I mean, I know you're telling the truth because
You think he made up the hosting
no,
thing?
I mean, I just know that he does it for no money, or like no, he does it for the love of it.
A lot of the stuff I don't get paid very well for. Well, no, but okay, let me lie. Let me just preface. Like, as a YouTuber, you have a lot of avenues where you can make a lot more money from doing certain things.
Yeah,
and it's like voice acting. I do a lot of voice acting still. Voice acting in comparison to YouTube, at least, the level that we're doing it on, it's very different pay. And even most voice actors that do it, most of the voice actors do it because then they go to conventions and make the money.
Right.
Because the voice acting, you get maybe $250 an hour, which sounds great. It's awesome. 250 is amazing.
Sure.
But then you're only in the booth for 3 hours, maybe, for that whole main character. And if you're a side character, you're in there for 1 hour or 2 hour minimum. Sometimes it's standard. And $500 if you're in LA is nothing. You can't do anything with it. So you often have to do conventions, and some of them will do 25 conventions a year, which means they're flying to like Minnesota every weekend or every other weekend. It's crazy to make their money. And so, but I love doing voice acting. It's so fun.
No, I didn't even know you when we asked you to do voice acting for the Get to Work game, and again, the budget was really small, and you just did it, and he did it.
I'll do it for like 5 pence.
I think that was crazy.
Can you do my videos for 5 pence?
Yes, I will do it.
You do my next book.
He looked away on that one.
All of your content been dubbed over in Connor's voice.
When I wrote the book, I had to do a bloody Audible, book, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
He would have been great.
Well, it's like when I did recently, I directed Gaunt's English dub for his anime, and I just assumed I was doing it for free. And Gaunt was like, "Oh, I'm going to pay you, by the way." I was like, "Oh, okay,
Nice,
that's just
bonus.
cool. Okay, cool." But
I just Doug now. He's you. You could just
hopefully Doug can get one of these AI things going for me, so I can. I'm joking.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll replace you. Yeah, I got you.
I just want to be replaced.
Did you see Michael Caine sold his voice to 11 Labs?
really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's old.
Yeah.
He's they probably just gave him so much money he can say no. But
if you want a day off, I can clone your voice.
This is how it starts.
Labs,
This is how it starts.
I will sit there mouthing like this on your stream, and it's your AI voice. We can easily replace you. Just let me know.
This sounds like a funny stream.
That would be a funny stream.
I did a TTS though. I recorded loads of lines for TTS. For like Iron Mouse, there's a booby character that I definitely don't do the voice of. And I had to record like the script for a TTS voice for it. So like if you go on channel, you can hear this me doing this like funny voice.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's definitely not me. It's like, so I had to read this 8 script that was gibberish because they just want you to make all the sounds in English.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
So I'm doing these sounds for it, and
Does it sound good?
this one sounds freakishly good. And
that's
apparently, when
scary.
I speak in foreign languages, I sound really good because apparently they all love it when the TTS speaks Spanish. And apparently I sound like really good in Spanish. But it's also mogging the shit out of me because I'm listening to that. I'm like, I sound so fucking good in Spanish.
sound natural.
And I can't speak fucking Spanish. I sound so hot in Spanish.
That's funny.
This is like the Schlatt AI clips of him speaking Chinese, but it's Schlatt's voice.
Oh, that was
Gotta
so
see
fucking
that.
funny. But yeah, it was interesting. I had to like speak these like Chinese words in this script that I didn't understand why I was doing it. But I when I said the word, I was like, oh, it's trying to get me to make this very specific sound so that it has it in the bank. It's very
Oh
yeah.
my God.
But it's only used for Iron Mouse's channel. I was like, I don't want to use anywhere else. But also, I've had people take my voice and make AI ads anyway. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, right? And I've heard there's a rising amount of, like bank fraud. Like they get a snip of your voice and then they call your bank and it's like,
I'm fucked.
That's bad for
my
streamers,
voice
right?
channel
Yeah.
is like fucking 1 billion hours of
I'll
my
never
voice.
forget. I think it was Slime when he was managing stuff for Ludwig, and he's responsible for a bunch of Ludwig stuff at the time. He's trying to figure out how to make his company and get his taxes paid because Ludwig hadn't taken care of any of this at the time, right? And Slime's on the phone with somebody, and they're like, "Well, you're not Ludwig Ogren. Like you can't do this." And Slime was like, "If I call you back and I say I'm Ludwig on the phone, what happens then?" And then the person didn't like that. because I think the security level with whatever this institution was is like, that's all it would take.
He's broken the system.
That's all it would take. And she was like, I'm hanging up. I'm going now.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. Oh
You should
god,
have done it. Just done a voice.
I'm pretty sure he did do it. Known Slime.
Yeah,
He
probably.
did do it. He probably did it.
We got it all under wraps now, I think.
It's interesting. That's so funny.
We've got 3 minutes left. Let's fully cover AI voices and all the implications for society. Let's really dig into this, guys.
Solve this problem.
We're so cooked. We're so cooked. I think it'll be like I don't know, some fancy ham. It's like they'll be like, we got the.
I'm loving where this is going.
We got metaphor. It'll be like the party that's like, nah, for this production, we got the real thing.
Oh.
We got the real voice.
They're Jack Dorsey's relaunching Vine as of this morning,
God, no.
and it's supposed to be their big selling point is it's AI free.
As of this morning, a month ago.
Oh, was this a month ago? I'm sorry, I'm a little out of date. I saw a post this morning.
That's
The
some
joke
serious
being
jet
this
lag
is-
right there.
The joke is that this episode will be anyway.
He's just as of a few months ago, they're relaunching Vine. I don't even know. It's probably dead by now.
This
is the third
You guys
time.
remember 3 weeks ago when Vine died?
They announced Vine too, like 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
they've done it
Nothing
a
ever
bunch.
happened.
But the selling point this
Is it
time,
just fucking TikTok?
the selling point is there's no AI at all. It's like completely
That's
banned.
going to be impossible to regulate. I feel.
Yeah, I guess. But I do think there's something of what you're saying with the ham, the crazy ham analogy, is
my
that
ham.
people are going to want more like, this is
It's going to become like a
human
luxury.
only.
It's going to become a luxury.
That's my fear is like with anything now, right? There's already a market for bespoke products that are made by, it's made the same way it was 500 years ago. And that's the reason you're buying it. But ultimately that market will always be significantly smaller than the bulk produced gets the job done thing. And I'm worried that AI voice or AI acting or whatever is going to trend in that direction.
Did you see Coca-Cola's advert? The Coca-Cola annual Christmas advert.
It was
by the way,
terrible,
right?
though.
That was absolute shit. And,
Yeah,
the marketing was like, the genie's out of the bottle. We've got to use it. You don't have to use it, you bellend. You don't. And whereas Apple released an ad for their logo, and they showed it was all shot practically. They had the logo, and they had like a guy with the light, and it looked really good. And it's like, you don't have to use AI slop crap.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But companies will do it. yet, and it will get better.
Yeah,
and it will
that's the
take
scary
all your
part, right?
jobs,
I
and
think
we're all
that's
stuffed.
the tough thing is like eventually it's gonna be Connor's TTS voice. It's gonna be indistinguishable. We don't even need you.
Well, I will say, I mean,
You
in this
actually
example,
don't even need me.
It will be creepy.
I handed the keys and the deed willingly.
We could
you just want a game. Your game is offline, dude.
If they let me game in peace, I'm happy.
But
It's
it will
AI
happen.
Connor playing the same game offline and online. You just
You'll
don't
be able
want
to type in like a prompt, like I want Trash Taste to talk about pie, and hit enter, and then you'll get a 2-hour podcast. It'll be the three of them talking about pie.
We do that now.
This is the big reveal.
I want the ham and pie special.
I don't know what that analogy was. That was crazy. I was just thinking about how I was hungry.
It was really weird.
I was just thinking about how.
It's made me quite hungry.
Boys, is that it?
I mean,
Oh.
I don't know if this is too. Forgive me if this is too big of a question, but
Sure.
one
Oh my gosh.
last thing I wanted to ask you guys on the narrative versus reality part again is you hear that there is this uptick in realization of work culture in Japan maybe being a little out of date, maybe a little dysfunctional. Maybe not so good that people have to work like 12 hours a day for the company they work for. And I've heard that things are changing or shifting.
Yeah.
And
think
then
they are,
also
yeah.
have heard
Yeah, they
from
are.
people that it's not changing as quickly as people think it is. I just wanted your guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's changing. I think the overtime thing has improved. I do think it has improved from what I know. And there's always talk about having a 4-hour work week, right? A 4-day work week. Yeah, 4-hour work week. That would be great. So I think it is getting better.
Yeah, it is getting
everything
better.
I've
It is
seen,
getting better.
but-
There's a lot more companies that allow you to do remote on some days, in the office other days.
Remote
It's-
work, yeah.
Yeah, it is changing. It's like everything in Japan. It's slow, but it'll happen.
it's
But
happening.
like people want change, so it'll happen. It's just sometimes it takes really fucking long. But in a sense, COVID did speed up a lot of this stuff for Japan because it kind of forced them to go
Yeah.
online for a lot of aspects and
It did.
adopt Zoom as an alternative to just always doing in-person meetings.
Yeah.
And Japan loves a good Zoom
in
meeting.
person.
You
They
were
love
talking
Zoom.
about meeting days, like the formality of meeting days with.
You always have to have so many meetings before you do anything.
Yeah, and they're very long and boring.
Yeah.
People have to sort of go around talk in a circle.
Yeah, every meeting I'll have with an LA agent or whatever, or whoever in LA, it's always 30 minutes. But in Japan, it's always an hour. That's like the key
And they
difference.
fill the full hour.
Sometimes they'll fill the full hour. Sometimes they'll go over. It really depends, like, because if we do if there's a lot of like a partnership or something, it's like, or I'll do a live stream for a company, they'll ask for the script.
How can you? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
They'll
this
ask
is-
for the script for the
this
live
is
stream.
like when
Script
we
for like
had
a 2-hour.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
we had you guys know who Asa Butterfield is? English
yeah, the actor, right?
Yeah, so we had him on the yard a long time ago because we had a
That's
weird
so random.
Yeah, we had
What
a
the
weird connection to him through
Oh, nice.
Smash and like esports.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so he's coming on and he's the first guest we have that we're talking to an agent. There's a bit more of a formality to the process. And they were like, can you send over all the questions that you're going to ask him ahead of? And we're the yard, like where we talk about
just lie.
shit and cum. And it's like, and we're like, I didn't know we had to prep
And
anything.
you type that out.
And kind of make this
How
up.
much shit in your cum?
One of the questions I got asked in the office was like circumcised. I was like, did you ask him?
Are you cut or uncut?
No, oh my God.
Get my agent. I need to know all the questions.
How's that been changing over time in Japan?
What's the shift on circumcision in Japan? You guys know about that?
You have to fill out a form.
So they want a live stream, but a lot of the times what they're asking for is, yes, they want a script, but what they really want is something to be able to say that this is what you're going to say, and they're going to give that to the higher ups and say,
To the
look,
boss.
we are not irresponsible. We didn't just let this guy loose. And so often we just send like talking points, and they're like, then that's normally okay. Sometimes they want a script. It really depends on what it is. But like for if I do a panel or something, I've done a lot of panels where we'll host it for like a Japanese game company, and they'll have a panel, and that will be scripted, like a full hour panel, fully scripted.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And so I'll have to go through the beats with
That's
them.
crazy.
And then we'll always have to have a pre-meeting for the panel. And sometimes they'll have a pre-meeting and then a rehearsal and then the panel.
And this is all ass covering from the bosses. Like it's all people getting.
Well, yeah, a lot of, I would say in Japan, there's often the I don't know if you agree, Chris, but like
PR.
people want to not be the one responsible for if something goes wrong. And so there's like a lot of checks and bounces. So they'll always check with the higher up, and then that guy will check with their higher up. And so instead of like it just being like, your project, I've done like marketing for some things where they own the full rights to the thing. And even on the day, I'll be like, can I say this? And they'll be like, oh, we got to ask the shareholders. It's like, if I can say this line.
Shareholders?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is what some people thought us signing with Vox was going to be like. That's what some people thought. And I'm like, no, man, I'm just showing up and I'm kind of spitballing the Sudan Civil War. Like,
Let me check with Vox before we put that in.
So it's, this the aspects of it. But, it's, you just get used to it. And some things are crazy, some things aren't. you get used to it.
That sums it up.
this seems to be the theme of the episode is you get used to it.
It's not like as crazy as you think when you go through it a couple of times, because you're like, okay, it's just to make everyone feel a lot more comfortable what's happening.
I will say I've tried to work with Japanese companies a lot less over the years, though. I had one shoot that was sponsored, and after I'd shot it, they were like, we didn't like you wore shorts. And they made me crop my legs out of every shot.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So
and it was 42 degrees Celsius outside.
The big thing is that you normally don't want to give editing rights to anyone if they don't
I
need
got a
to.
spreadsheet with 120 changes on, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I wrote, "I'll give you 120 reasons to go fuck yourself."
I will.
No, I have had a shoot one time at a building, and the shoot was like barely in that building. It was like 1/10 of the video, and they gave me notes on what to change outside of their shoot location. They were like, we don't want to be associated with that because we like drank a beer or something on this other place, and so they sent us like a ton of things to change. I've also done press events where I thought it was a press event where you just get to go, but the press event, every press that went had to agree to the editorial rights that went through the company.
Oh my god.
And I was not very thrilled about that because what they ended up changing was literally everything.
Wow!
Like I couldn't have any opinion on anything. they absolutely butchered it.
I would love to watch you have no opinion about anything.
I can show you the video. It's still on my channel.
I like it. Yes. Like what would they?
There was one thing I said. I was like, I had a preference. Where I was like, I don't really like these types of designs normally. I said something along those lines. It was like very non-committal, and they were like, you must cut that out.
Oh my god!
Because they're like, you might offend people who do like it. And I was like,
how would you talk about oranges? Because you hate oranges. You famously hate oranges. How would you discuss oranges? If you can't give your opinion.
I can't support you anymore.
It is extremely restrictive, and I think everyone has this trial by fire. You just get these moments. You're like,
I just stopped working with Japanese companies.
I will. Okay, so
Genuinely.
normally what happens is Japanese companies they pay you a lot less because obviously the yen's weaker and the marketing budget's less, and then on top of that they have oftentimes maybe 3 to 5x the amount of asks and restrictions.
Yeah.
So it's like you do pick your battles.
Wait till you see the cut of this episode. You're
talking to me, and I'm gonna. By the way, it's like the whole time during the pod, you're like, you have company. I don't have a company in Japan, by the way.
You don't?
No.
Wait, what?
I'm just a part. Like I'm on the board of a company.
What?
Yeah.
I thought this is
Kick
shocking.
him off. It's a business show.
You said it, and I was like, Chris does, and I don't.
I think pretty much every YouTuber or streamer I know has a company that their business goes under, but you don't.
No,
that's wild.
You don't deserve to be in here.
Yeah, because it's just with if you have a company in Japan and you own the company, it changes visa restrictions.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So I just pay the full income tax, and oh boy, another thing.
Okay, I mean, thank you guys for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Man.
Yeah. I appreciate both of y'all, on top of joining the podcast, that I think both of you are putting more like optimism into the world.
Yeah,
even if it's not explicit. I assume that wasn't your goal going into Plants vs. Zombies. But like I just think but you explicitly acknowledge that, and I feel very sensitive to that, and think about that a lot this year. So I appreciate very much that there are people out there and intentionally or unintentionally just being like, hey, there are good things going on in the world. There's good vibes and there's good. I appreciate that a lot. Sincerely.
Not even just in the content, in the community you build around. I feel like you're the people in your comment section and in the what you're putting on the internet is a more positive space. And that's just cool. It's nice. It's nice to see.
I think we both banter very well and are able to show Japan in a very realistic but fun way. And
I mean, the title from this is going to be "The UK is failing in 30 days."
We left the UK.
Worst parts about Japan.
Civil War is coming.
Just be ready for that. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks so much, guys. Been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
We would at the same time.